This pilot was all about trying to identify if the companies within the infrastructure and manufacturing materials sectors could grow, whether they had any issues that stopped them from growing, and if so, what we could do to change that.
For this initial cohort, we took 8 companies who are from that really early stage up to ones which have over 1 million in revenue per annum. And that was just to really get a feel for what these various types of businesses at various stages need.
There's a lot of support there to help you develop your technology, but developing a business, that's a challenge in itself.
The Innovate UK Scaleup programme has been really helpful at our time in development. We still have a few more stages to go before we actually go into mass production, and that's partly the issue. So how do we find that money? How do we know where to seek the investors? How do we professionalise ourselves? Things that are not necessarily skill sets that entrepreneurs and innovators have. So it's been useful to build those blocks into what we already are.
Scaling up a business is very complex. If you're going to achieve ambitious objectives, you've got to be very process driven, and in reality some help in doing that is very much appreciated.
There's a little bit of a credibility gap when you're a small company. The biggest challenge scaling up is getting people to buy. It's a big price tag, it's completely new, and even though it doesn't require them to change their infrastructure, which is quite unusual in the transport industry, there's a bit of a penguin syndrome going on, so when somebody else takes it, they will.
The market doesn't actually treat new technology very well. You do get to a point where there's nothing more you can actually do on your own. You need the help and support of others. So for example, you need legislation to change. Things like that are very difficult, and it's not always about money. We don't always need hard cash. We often need guidance, we need help, and introductions to investors. And I think that whole package has been something which has really suited us.
What's really clear is that we need to focus cohorts on the stages that they're at. So those really successful people who have been there, done that, exited and been really successful are now feeding back and supporting some of these early stage businesses and some of these scale-ups.
It's wonderful to see the enthusiasm that the companies have in learning what their problems are, learning how to deal with them and how to grow. So it's great to see it, and I hope we can continue to help them.